What is going on, Sooner fans? We are the night before game one. And if you're watching any football tonight, there's a lot of bad games out there as far as just totally lopsided games.
Some good ones, too.
What's that?
Some good ones, too.
There's a few good ones. I mean, a few surprises. As I watch them tonight, NC State, they might lose. I think they're 24-21 right now. Colorado, barely winning. But who cares? Tomorrow night, it gets started with Oklahoma football. Finally, it looks like the weather may be pretty nice, actually. If the rain stays south, should be a good night for some football, guys.
Greg got said NC State is up now. Look, North Dakota State giving Colorado every bit that they can handle. I'm liking the Minnesota UNC game is a nice little uniform matchup.
Thanks for the update, Sportsmetric. There we go.
It's great seeing football on TV. That's just the main thing.
Yeah, the Colorado game does not surprise me.
If Travis Hunter isn't at least in a Heisman talk, if this continues, he's got to be in the talk.
Yeah, can he keep it up? Can he play both ways?
I don't know if he can play physically that much, Jay.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that. That's the thing.
And it's a horrible loss to lose to North Dakota State your opening game if they lose.
It would be a bad loss, but at the same time, North Dakota State's a really good team.
They're a great FCS team, Jay.
They're a good team, period.
But they're an FCS team. Colorado should not be losing to them. Yep, just give me the money. Yeah. Give me the money. Yeah. Let's do it.
That's over with. Nobody, I mean, that's done. Tulane looks good. Bobby, I don't know. Last I looked, it was 14-0. They must have kind of taken a little bit bigger lead now.
I guess Mr. Legend was in a PG live, Jay.
Nice. Way to go, Mike. Tulsa looks pretty good. Kirk Francis is a good quarterback. So.
Yeah, I think TU is going to be much improved.
Oh, that's it. Colin, interesting. Heard OU going over their big stream videos early today. The Toby Keith song will be courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. I had wondered that because of Labor Day weekend, maybe holiday weekend. What? I mean, do you think that's going to be every week? I wouldn't think so, but maybe it will.
No, they're going to change it. I don't even know if it's officially going to be tomorrow, Jay, because maybe they're just playing around with the speakers. You never know.
Yeah, there's some funny stuff on here. Hey, wait, SFA is up 64-0. Are we talking about Stephen F. Austin?
I believe so, Jay. Not sure why, but
I don't even know who they're playing. Hey, Monty, get ready for it. It's going to happen all year. It's going to happen all year long. Okay, and I'll say this about Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is a good quarterback. I do not think he's the number one drafted pick in the NFL. Okay, I think he's good. I don't think he's the number one draft pick.
Here's what I'm going to say about Shedeur Sanders, and maybe the only thing I'm going to say tonight. If he doesn't go to the combines, he will be drafted higher. Possibly. He goes to the combines, I think his draft stock drops. If he just lives with his name and what numbers he puts up this year, he'll be drafted fairly high, I think.
Hey, Jen, thanks for joining. I went to some 7th, 8th grade football tonight and watched that. And I was watching the game tonight, 8th grade football team, just totally annihilating the other team. They're way more physical, way bigger, way stronger. That's what tomorrow night needs to look like. It needs to be a total demolition offensively and defensively on the up front line. You got to control the line. You got to blow them off the ball. You're bigger, better, stronger, faster, all of it. And you should have receivers running open. Look at these guys at Colorado tonight. I mean, Shedeur Sanders made some good plays, but sometimes these guys are like 15 yards open. So,
General Booty up 14-7.
What are your thoughts on Beck?
I'm higher on Beck than I am Shedeur. I don't know. I'm going to be shocked if they're the first two off the board.
Who's your best quarterback in college football this year?
Man, I'll have to think about that a second, Jay.
Is it Carson Beck? I mean, is that what you would go with?
I said I'm going to think about it, Jay, and I'm going to. It's not an elite quarterback class, so those could be the top two guys.
Hey,
there could be a small school guy also make that.
Hey, Chief. Yeah, he's playing guard, but let me kind of say something on this matter. The Caden Green stuff, not playing tackle, playing guard. I always wondered after his freshman year at Oklahoma why he would play tackle. He was dominant at guard. I mean, I know if you want money wise in the NFL, it's probably better to pay tackle, but he was a purely dominant guard, and he's going to continue to be a dominant guard. I don't think if it's not broke, don't fix it. I guess, but
Speaking of Missouri, last time I checked, it was 45-0. I will say this. Their defense pretty much not allowing anything tonight. But I am going to say Brady Cook could be their demise.
Yeah. Hey, me and you were talking off air a little bit earlier about North Dakota State. I know you don't like the FCS team, but you know they're 9-4 against FBS teams, right?
I never said I didn't like them. I think they're great. They're a great FCS team.
They've beaten pretty good teams when they played them. But
okay, Jay, but if Colorado loses to them, it's a bad loss.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's all I'm saying. People are acting like they should be favored over Colorado. That's right.
I kind of went in and I picked North Dakota State to win the game, but they probably won't now. It doesn't look like.
Chief T-Bird disagrees. I said Brady Cook might be their demise. Chief fixed it. Thanks for correcting it, Chief. Brady Cook will be their demise.
I got a question. Real quick, who's y'all's dark horse team from this year? Can be from any conference. I got a couple. I got SMU out of the ACC, and then I would keep an eye on Wisconsin out of the Big Ten. I think Wisconsin is going to be very under the radar, and so I expect Wisconsin to do pretty good things. And the other one out of Big Ten is Nebraska. I think Nebraska is another team. I think those two teams are the Big Ten. Yeah, I agree, Bobby. And watch out next week. I think Arkansas goes into Stillwater and wins.
Wow.
I do. Hey, let me get to the question I was going to propose here. I think we've kind of talked about it before, but after watching all this football tonight, we're going to watch more tomorrow night, and we're going to watch more Saturday. As a fan, this is purely from a fan perspective, nothing else, guys and gals. Anybody in here that's from a fan perspective. Are you all for playing a team that you're going to beat 70-0, or would you rather play a better team?
As a fan, I want a better opponent, Jay. I don't like 80-0 games. I don't like 60-0. I like big-time games, even though you might lose them. I like them from a fan perspective, obviously.
Even with the SEC, do you think?
Yes. Hey, UCF is looking good tonight. They could be a dark horse.
Yeah, they got a really good quarterback. I mean, really good for Malzahn. He fits perfectly. KJ Jefferson. I'm not comparing him to Cam Newton at all, but he is a similar type player. And he can do some good things at UCF. I think they're going to be good. And that's a good dark horse. Better competition, Mike says. I think most people would say better competition. The thing is, better competition if you can win the game. That's what it comes down to.
Colin, OU's biggest concerns, I've said it.
Are we talking about in game one or just?
Maybe for the year. But to me, the number of penalties and discipline is a big deal for this team. Yeah. Cannot have it. I mean, you go back to last year, Jay, and I hate going back to last year, but there were drives that were absolutely ruined because of 15-yard penalties of undisciplined play. It kills you in discipline, lack of, and injuries, not injuries, but penalties, to me, is the concern. That from my perspective.
Well, I mean, yeah, you've seen it in the North Dakota State-Colorado game. A couple of plays they had that just killed the drive. Delayed a game on 3rd and 1. I mean, there's been some bad stuff. Gwen says, I agree about playing better teams, but it will be later in the season. Yeah, I just think you're going to you're going to know more after Tulane and Houston. I know they're not great teams, but they're still better than what you're playing tomorrow night. Ron wants to see how good condition they are.
We won't find that out tomorrow. I mean, if they're cramping tomorrow, I'm shocked. That they should play. They should clear the bench tomorrow, so everyone's going to get a lot of game time.
John says offensive line's biggest concern. Yeah, Monty, UCF versus Utah would be a good Big 12 championship. I agree with that. Chief says one cupcake to get started, one elite, very good team to build your resume, and one or two middle of the pack D1 teams. I like that. I kind of like that. I would hate that. I would rather the team, though, the blowout team, maybe like where they have it right now with Maine. I kind of like the first game to be a little bit better, but who knows? I mean,
Hey, yeah. So Selene says blowouts are tough to experience as a fan. I agree. Better competition in games that are fairly played, fairly called. Steven asked, did you see what Burks is doing for every catch he makes? Maybe Hunter can enlighten me. I've not seen that, Jay.
Steven, what is it? I have not seen that either.
But I will tell you what I saw was the OU Twitter video, Jay, today, Jay, that was put out. The OU, it was good. It was great. Gave me some goosebumps.
That was good. Over or under that the game goes past 11? Under.
We'll be on.
The OU
past
live.
11.
Sooner Search Live will be all pretty late, probably.
We'll be up past 11, 100%.
Colin says, who will have more yards, Thompson or Burks tomorrow?
I'm going Thompson, Jay. He's my Sooner standout tomorrow. I think he's going to have 3 or 4 deep chances and get them.
Yeah, Bobby, they're bad. I mean, they are. I don't know. And this is when, if you're a coach, and I heard Brent Venables talking about him, you're, of course, going to say what you want to say about them in front of your players, but there's not one person in OU's locker room that thinks they could lose to Temple. And you know what? This is a game where that shouldn't even matter. There's no way you can overlook Temple because they can't beat you.
Correct.
I mean,
cool stuff that I see about Deion Burks with the nonprofit. Ron, that Storms, you and your Storms need to just, I don't know, Ron, but it's not going to happen, and it's not going to affect OU for sure. Not in this game, not in this opponent.
I got a question. Tomorrow, OU Temple, first quarter, when the clock hits 0 after 1 quarter, how many points does OU have?
I think 28-0 after 1.
I was kind of thinking 35.
And I do think that was it Bobby that said it? He's talking about him not being better. One thing we know, Stan Drayton hasn't even chosen who their starter is at quarterback. He's kind of left it out there. There's 3 guys they may go with.
We got 31, 35, 24, 14.
I would be happy with 28-0, Jay.
If they have 7 points, I will probably be throwing things in my house. I mean, I'm serious.
If OU is up 7-0, I'll be just losing my ever-loving mind.
Who all is going to the game that's on here right now? I'd love to know.
Yeah, 50,000 to walk on, just unbelievable. You heard what Deion Burks is doing now with this nonprofit. That's just great things, man, that's happening.
I did not know Kurt Warner's son plays.
Yes, he's one of the 3, Jay. One of the 3.
Really?
Absolutely.
He's got some good blood, good DNA in him.
Here's what I'm going to say about Travis Hunter. And Jordan's there. I think Travis Hunter is one of the guys you watch and you're like, golly, this guy's it. I don't think he can keep playing 130 plays a game and last through the year. He's playing that many plays against North Dakota State, like against the big-time players, big-time teams. I don't think he can keep it up.
Hey, Bobby, I know I saw earlier you were at the TU game as well. Let everybody know where you're going to be tomorrow night. Maybe they can come check you out at the vendor.
Steve Stutzman did say he invited the Surgeaholics here to the lower drinking hole for the tailgate. Hey, Jay, I'm curious because, this weekend is packed with good games. It's going to be interesting to see parity and if parity is more this year.
I agree. It's going to be a good weekend of football. I love the OU's tomorrow night and the fact that Saturday there's 11, 3, 7. There's games all day long. I think it's going to be a great Saturday to watch football. Colin will be on the field in the stands playing the Hey song on repeat. If anyone wants to find me, LOL, playing in the band there. That's exciting time.
Would you agree, Jay, that outside of injuries and lack of, can't afford any injuries, outside of that, is the biggest thing penalties and showing discipline?
I think that, but I think it's physicalness. I think that's what I'm looking for.
It's hard to tell against Temple, Jay.
I don't care. Offensive line, if they have any issues, you got to get out there and blow people off the ball. Have to.
To me, the most intriguing thing that I'm going to see tomorrow night is I'm hoping to just maybe be able to recognize some of the changes in the offensive scheme under Seth Luttrell. If it looks just like Jeff Lebby, to me, I don't like that because Seth Luttrell is not Jeff Lebby. Jeff Lebby had a phenomenal offense. They were ranked top 5. But to me, I want to see some of the nuances in the offense. I want to see a little bit of maybe what it could be. I definitely want to see a 2-back set tomorrow. One time at least. I want to see it shown.
Yeah, I would love to see a 2-back set too. Hey, Jen, I am not sure. I don't know if Hunter can let us know where that's at, but maybe we can find out before we're off here tonight. We'll see. But yeah, it'd be great to stop by for sure. And by the way, Steve Stutzman will be on there every Sunday night recapping the previous game and chatting with us all and with all you guys. So guys and gals. So make sure you bring it Sunday night. He'll be back.
Yeah, Brian says he's talking about kicking for chicken. The kicking game. I mean, obviously you want a touchdown every drive, Jay, but if they have to settle for a field goal in this game, I don't think Sooner fans, at least there's going to be some intrigue there.
Actually, is part of you want to see a field goal or two?
I want to see what Tyler Keltner's got. We know what Schmidt has or doesn't have. I want to see what Tyler Keltner has. And listen, Colin, I brought this up a couple of days ago. I am under the belief, and I am very adamant about this. I don't care if it's 100-0. Starters should play the opening drive of the second half. You've got to come out of the locker room, and I know we have coaches on here. Maybe if I was a coach, I want my starters coming out of the locker room, out of halftime after hearing from the coaches, making any kind of adjustment. To me, you've got to do that because that's what it's going to be all year. I think you have to play the starters the opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, Crystal, they cover tomorrow. OU does, I think. What is the one player you want to see go off tomorrow night? I would love it. Two guys, in my opinion, I would love to see. Jalil Farouk and Javonte Barnes, kind of as a guys coming back that some people have forgotten.
And I love the take. I think it was Sooner fan. When Michael Hawkins comes in, because he's going to come in because this should be a blowout, Michael Hawkins better not just be handing the ball off. I am so done with OU and backup quarterbacks where they just get in there and hand the ball off. No, let them run the offense. Hey, especially if they're going to let Jackson Arnold run, which they should, Jay. They should let Jackson Arnold run this year. Yeah. If they are, you've got to have the backup running the offense. You can't just hand the ball off. That's ridiculous.
Chief, man. So I can't put it in words. Appreciate it so much. You always support the channel. Thanks so much. Says consistent pressure without blitzing, no penalties, turnovers, hunger, and domination. That's what I expect to see. I agree with all that. I think that's what you want to see in this game. It should be purely dominant. I am Star Sports. I am Star Parts.
I like what he's basically
Steve is in the same spot. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, where Steve Stutzman was last year behind the statues. And
so there it is. There it is, Jen. Hey, and by the way, I want to get back to Mike's question about Georgia. Would I be disappointed, surprised if they don't cover? I'm picking up them to lose straight up. So book it.
And Fan Stop, you're right. To me, this is a very much an intrigue tomorrow night. Is the entire defensive line, edge, middle, depth, all three. I want penetration. I want Sooners in the backfield. It's mano-a-mano. Like, you got to beat your man every time, create havoc, all that.
Hey, and Bobby says, had to go look at vendor map. We'll be at Campus Corner on University Boulevard, just north of Boyd Street. Stop by and see Bobby.
Absolutely.
There at the food truck.
Check out Bobby Wiley at the food truck.
Great, Bobby. Let's see here.
Score update. Buffs up 10. That game is probably over.
Yeah, probably so. I want to see a few blitzes, Monty says. Do you think they'll be pretty vanilla defensively and offensively?
Yes, but they shouldn't need a blitz, Jay, to create pressure. I wouldn't mind seeing one, just one every now and then.
Hey, and Trap House says Travis Hunter ball skills. Sheesh. Hey, to me, if you want to say number one pick, I think you got like Travis Hunter over Shador.
Absolutely, Jay.
Wouldn't you? I mean,
absolutely.
Hey, NFL wise, look at the receivers are getting paid mega bucks right now. And he's a receiver. He can play defensive back. He could legitimately be in the NFL. I think you could play in both ways like Dion used to. I do think you could do that.
He's making a case with the hat trick tonight and the amount of plays he's played. He's got to be on the early Heisman watch. Has to be.
It all depends on how good they are, Jeremy. If they're not good, he's not going to be.
Ron says, if OU gives up 4 sacks, will your take on the O-line change? Yeah. If they give up 4 sacks as a starting group and it's not the third team, yes, I would be. And Bobby says, Bobby's more interested in rotation. Yeah, I agree. I'm interested in the rotation.
Hey, do you leave your starters out there on the offensive line longer than other starters?
Possibly, but I think there's some guys that could sneak in there, Jay. They got to place multiple guys. Some of these guys may be great practice players and they can't play in the game. And if that's the case, yank them and get someone else in there early.
Hey, I got an actual question that I don't know the answer to, which is a lot, but does Travis Hunter run punts back or no?
I can't answer that, Jay, because I haven't watched enough of him tonight.
I think they probably should put him back. Yeah. Hey, Billy Bowman running kicks back.
Love it.
Does he get a return tomorrow? They kick it out of the end zone.
I think he's going to get a chance. Travis Hunter does not, and that's probably smart because he's playing. When's he going to breathe if he's out there running kicks back, Jay?
That's true.
Big shout out tonight to the Fan Stop.
Yeah.
Kevin and the guys at the Fan Stop, just great people at the Fan Stop. They do amazing work. Officially licensed gear done right here in the state of Oklahoma, and they cover a lot of teams for the Shirt of the Month Club. And you're missing out if you don't sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Get on board tonight. Go check them out. Check out the separate packages they have for OU specifically. Use code SURGE for 10% off your first 3 months. I know John McNay has done that and others. Kyla's done that. Check them out. Fanstop at thefanstop.com. Appreciate him so much. Jay, over or under 359 passing yards for Arnold? I'm going to say under. I think it's over 300, but I don't know if he gets to 350.
I don't. The thing I question on that stat, I think it's a good number, is how much will he be playing after they're up really big, and how much will he be throwing, right? Because I think he could have probably 200 yards after a quarter or two, and may not throw it as much anymore. I don't know. So that's a tough one. I would probably say under. Like Jeremy, I think they'll run the ball a lot once they get a lead. So I don't know. Over under on 2 picks tomorrow for Arnold, under. Hopefully no turnovers. I would hope. Crystal, thank you so much.
Crystal with the smoke
says, I want to make a bet with Jay. If Clemson wins, I give $100 to the channel. If Georgia wins, Jay can't shave for a month. Hey, I tell you what, a month. Hey, man, that's a long time.
Jay, do that. First off, hey, I'm going to stop here for a second.
Hey, I'll do it. I'll do it right now. I'll do it. Let's go.
I played my trumpet last night because I'm a man of my word. Jay, I think, was supposed to shave his head last year and never did. So
no, I was not. Hey,
Jay, take that bet.
Crystal, I'll take the bet.
Jay, you'll be looking like me. You'll be looking like me.
Here's what I'll do, Crystal. Tomorrow's August 29th. If Clemson, we'll go a month from today. September 28th, I will not shave starting now. I won't shave before the game Saturday. I will not shave, and if that happens. So there you go.
Have you asked your wife? This could be.
I'm not asking. I'm
concerned, Jay. No shave September.
It's for the Surgeaholics. She'll understand, bro.
Hey, anything for the Surgeaholics.
You know what's funny is I actually was going to bring it up to you, Jeremy, yesterday. And I forgot to say something. I told my son this. I told him yesterday I was going to just grow a mustache, not shave everything else except the mustache until OU loses a game.
Okay, Jay.
Which one do you like better? Do you like not shaving at all or just going for a mustache until they lose?
No, grow the beard out, Jay. Don't shave at all. Do what Crystal says. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. That's great advice. That's great advice, Bobby. I have not watched Rudy. I watch it afterwards. I'll be up till midnight watching it. It's great. I love it. just by myself. Absolutely love it. Blake Horn, welcome back. It's been a while. Let's answer Blake's question of who wins each conference this year. I'm not going to go through every conference like the Sun Belt and the WAC and the South WAC and the G WAC. I'm not doing those, but I will go with the main ones. And here's who I got. SEC, I've got Georgia. ACC, I know Jay's got SMU, and I'm going Clemson in the ACC. Big Ten, I've got Ohio State. That seems like an easy one. I am also under the impression, I think Nebraska and Wisconsin, very much sleepers. Are there any other conference that matter? Oh, yeah, the Big 12. Big 12, I'm going Utah. I'm going the Utes.
Who'd you pick in the Big 10?
Ohio State.
Okay. Bobby's got Ohio State, Georgia, UCF, Miami.
I like UCF. I like Miami too.
Yeah, there's some good ones. Let me get to this comment up here. Bobby Redwine also says UCF. Hey, did you know I'm watching a movie after this too?
What's that, Jay?
Remember the Titans.
That's
it's
great.
better. It's better than Rudy, by the way.
Better movie, but not for football for me.
It's better than Rudy. Utah will win Big 12. A lot of people think that. Who wins the wiggity whack? Don't talk back. Hey.
I always pick Fresno, Jay.
Hey.
Greg got Georgia, Oregon, Utah.
Hey, TU's going to a bowl game this year, right?
Yes.
I think so.
They're much improved. Bagman.
What's up, Bagman?
I'm Germ. I'm the loud one, and that's Jay. He's the quiet one.
Thanks for joining again, Bagman. Missed you, man. Missed you.
I never liked the program, Tyler.
Rank the top 5 football movies.
Oh, wow. Remember the Titans, Rudy. I think for me, Jay, what's the Rock movie in prison? Love it.
Game Plan?
Gridiron Gang.
Oh, I think you meant Game Plan. What about
Game Plan's great too, Jay.
We Are Marshall.
We Are Marshall's top 5. Absolutely. What about Robin Williams, Kurt Russell?
No, I'm not a Wildcat fan either. Hey, I tell you a good one that was pretty good. It had Mark Wahlberg in it. Philadelphia.
Invincible, man. Love it.
Invincible's pretty good. When the Game Stands Tall.
Tall is great.
Yeah, Longest Yard. That's a classic. There's some good ones.
The Burt Reynolds one, not the Chris Rock one. Replacements. Love it.
Oh, Replacements. That's a good one, Rick.
Hey,
some good ones flowing.
Jay, let me ask you this right now. I've got a great question. First, for trivia, since we're on the Replacements, what was Keanu Reeves' name?
What was his name in the movie?
That's too easy. Let me ask you this, though, Jay. Would you rather have a Shane Falco type quarterback or the kicker from the Replacements?
Oh, I like the kicker. Hey, Falco.
Absolutely.
Falco, was it Dalpos? Did Dalpos get it? No, Chief might have got it. I think Chief got it.
What was the kicker's name in that movie?
I'm not sure. Jackson. Absolutely.
Daniel, thanks for the super, Daniel.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Daniel.
it very much. And Daniel says, any given Sunday.
Hey, there's some great quotes from Any Given.
Al Pacino.
There's some great quotes. In fact, some of the best quotes in sports movies are from that movie. There's some great ones.
Did you like the Sooner media about the play with the Friday Night Lights and the high?
That was good. I liked it today.
It was very good. It was very good.
I told you, I've liked almost everything they put out. I just didn't like the one the other day with the Whistling Boomer Sooner. That was the only one I haven't really just fell in love with. Let me ask this question. I think this is a great question because we talked about it today, Jerem. Tomorrow, before the game, they're going to throw up on the Jumbotron the intro video, okay? If you had to pick one person to be the voice of that video, who you picking? If you remember last year, wasn't Boz last year? I believe Boz was last year.
Was it not Toby last year?
I believe Boz was last year.
If I had to pick one guy,
it doesn't even have to be an OU football player. I'm just saying.
I think James Earl Jones is one.
He does Michigan's.
James Earl Jones does?
Yeah, he went to school there. He does Michigan's.
I
We
mean,
got a Patty
he's fun.
Gasso on here.
They want to hear me over it.
Wow, Germ, they're calling you.
If they offered it for me, I'd get on there. I'd get on there and bring it.
Bob Barry, Barry Switzer, Baker. I've seen a lot of stuff. There's a James Garner.
James Garner.
He would have been great.
He would be great.
I mean, when you think of celebrities from Oklahoma, I mean, you know what I think would be really cool? I know this didn't happen, but like if somehow they could have recorded Toby Keith doing one before he passed, it would have been amazing to have his voice do it. It would have been so good.
Daniel Brooks says Jim Ross, and that's a good one. He's great. Hey, Jim Ross would be great. I want to go back to Kim. Kim said, anyone heard about Nigel Smith? I believe he's redshirting. I don't know that, but he's not.
Yeah.
We haven't heard much. I mean, he may play early on in the first 4 games. I think he's going to redshirt. That'd be my guess.
I would think so, too, with the amount of guys they have out there that would probably redshirt. Aaron, I agree with you on Ed Harris. I think Ed, and he's from Oklahoma.
Absolutely not on Reba. I'm no offense. I like Reba. I love the show Reba. I love Van in that show. Love Reba McEntire. Do not have her as the voice over the loudspeaker on that. You just can't.
Crystal says, how about we do a poll on Saturday? Let the people.
Crystal's ramping it up a little. I like it.
Crystal, let me just tell you this. We will not be doing a poll on Saturday because Saturday after about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Georgia will have 1 loss. So we won't be doing it.
But if they do win, if Georgia wins, Jay, Saturday night poll.
That's fine. Bring it.
Ooh, touchdown North Dakota State. How much time? Probably about 5 minutes left in that game.
Maybe so.
Hey, I've got to do something in my pod room because football's starting back and I don't have TVs in this room.
Hey, let's address a few things tomorrow. Here's the thing.
Address it right now, Jay.
Tomorrow, before the game at 4 o'clock, we will be live. Okay, when we do a pregame live. Okay, after the game, when the clock hits 0, we're going to be on pretty much right after. I mean, give it take 15 minutes, maybe max. We'll be on. Okay, we'll be on right after the game to talk all about it and get all your overreactions because you're going to have a ton of overreactions after tomorrow, I promise you.
Again, that's 4 o'clock before the game. Get on and talk to us about your thoughts, what you're feeling. And then after the game, we'll probably go an hour or 2 after the game. I'm serious. I'm not pulling your leg. We'll probably be on here an hour or 2. Why? Because we love it. But if you're not subscribed, you're not going to be notified when these things happen. Jiminy Christmas, John Brooks.
Hey, running backs tomorrow. We did a video earlier talking about game day tomorrow and talking about our standouts, and I picked Javonte Barnes. I am starting to maybe believe all the hype that Javonte Barnes may be back. I heard Trace Ford on the Sports Animal this morning, and he was talking about Javonte Barnes and how good of a fall camp he's had, and he was like, I did not know Javonte Barnes was that fast. So apparently he looks great.
Tone Loc, let me clarify, Tone Loc. You're saying top 6 offensive performers in college football, or are you just talking about OU? If you're talking OU, that's a lot of people. I think for OU, Brennan Thompson is the guy that I'm saying is going to have just a mammoth game tomorrow. He's going to have 2 or 3 50-yard bombs, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you're going top 6 offensive performance for Oklahoma tomorrow, to me, I'm picking 2 running backs, Sawchuck Barnes. I'm picking probably 3 receivers, Thompson, probably Farouk and Burks. And then how about Bauer Sharp?
No one's talking about Bauer Sharp.
Nobody's talking about him.
I know one thing. If Deion Burks is in and going down the middle of the field and Brennan Thompson's on the outside going deep and whoever, Farouk's on the other side, Bauer Sharp's going to be sitting in the middle field wide open all day long. And I think Jackson Arnold will throw it to him. We did not see that much last year.
We'll see. I mean,
I want to know if they're playing. I want to know if they're going to play 2-back set. Again, that's what I want to see. I want to see it. I want to see Thunder and Lightning in together. I want to see 2 guys that are different in there at the same time.
What are you looking for if you see Tatum getting some reps and speed? I know Daniel was on there earlier. He would, as a former running back, would know exactly what to look for. But, you know, to me, To me, I think I watched him in high school. His vision's really good. What? Why are you doing this?
That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, house call?
Make a house call.
Hey,
every time he touches it, house call. That's what I want tomorrow.
He's
house
got
call all night long.
He's got extremely good vision, I think, for a young guy. And he does have speed. Now, are you talking about – he's not speed like when you talk about Brennan Thompson speed, but for a running back, he's got really good speed.
Yeah, and Bobby says, I think Sharp being a captain says a lot about him to come from small school and make that kind of impact what they see as a captain, going to have a great year. Yeah, and listen, really Arnold and him, and Arnold talked about Sharp coming in as a new guy and being the captain. That was one of the things he talked about. And the fact that Arnold is really, I mean, he's a sophomore, but being a captain when there's a lot of guys they could have picked, I love it. I like what Mez said, that the road for the Heisman starts tomorrow. And we got this is unbelievable. Chief T-Bird is just flat out unbelievable. Unbelievable, Chief T-Bird. Says the long, dark night known as the offseason ends in a matter of hours, people. This amazing show got us through it. Great job, fellas. Let's go let these naysayers know who we are.
Who we are,
Thank
that's
you
right.
so much, Chief T-Bird. Hey, you helped us get through the offseason too, Chief. Not going to lie. And the Discord has been fire lately. I can't imagine what it's going to look like tomorrow. We may have to put some rules out because some people's TVs are ahead of others. We'll talk about the Discord. If you want to be on the Discord, email us, ousportsroundup@gmail.com. We'll tell you how you can be on the Discord with the great Surgeaholics.
Hey,
thank you, Chief.
And Chief, by the way, it's the show is because of all of y'all. Y'all are the ones that carried us through the offseason for sure. Colin says, do you want permanent captains or new ones every game? I've already told him
I like permanent.
I absolutely do not like the captains every week. I mean, new captains every week. I want the same ones for the whole year. I would love that.
One reason, let me attest to that, Jay. To me, one reason, if you're switching every week, it does give a chance for guys to maybe step up and be in that captain role. But to me, it also lessens or diminishes the accountability that those captains would have if they're year-round captains. You got to be on it each week, every week as the captain. It's a year-long process. I like that.
I do too. John says, who's an underrated player that could flash tomorrow?
I've got a great example.
Go. You got one?
Jaron Kanek. Jaron Kanek, it's been as quiet talk about Jaron Kanek as there's been in a library on a Sunday morning at a church. No one's talking about Jaron Kanek. I think he's a guy.
Yeah, another guy I think that could flash tomorrow because of the score gets out of hand and stuff could be a guy like Samuel Franklin.
And we got to go to Daniel Brooks because Daniel does know what he's talking about here on this. I would look for an explosion after the cuts. If his speed is what it should, you will see it after the moves he makes. Let's talk about Tatum. Example being DeMarco versus Kennedy Brooks. I do agree. I agree with the cut. To me, on that fact, Daniel, Javonte Barnes, the guy that 2 years ago had some of the cutback and looked good. Last year, just never had his feet under him. Didn't feel like he was, in a good position. He's one I want to see cut and get going.
I don't know.
I'm high on Javonte Barnes.
Who's Kyla talking about there? Oh, maybe Kanek. Do you want
me to say he's done all you want, Kyla. I don't give a rip. I think he's going to have a good year in a role play system.
Well, I think the guy playing next to Stutzman and probably starting is going to have a massive year, and that's Kip Lewis.
Bobby had a great point about the captain. Put a C on their chest and let them wear it.
Yeah, that's right. I would agree because you could bring up captains every week, but that team knows who your captains are, right?
Yes. Hey, Jay, give your BV speech right now for the advice of the team. Go.
No excuses. We've been pushing to be in the SEC for however many years it's here. I don't want to hear any excuses. Well, the schedule's tough. Forget about it. It's Oklahoma. Used to winning conference championships. Go do it now. I think they have too much experience, too much talent on defense to not be a good team this year and to not be challenging for a playoff spot.
The time is now. You've played around for too long with teams who have no business playing with you in the backyard. The time is now. I don't care what the other team's helmet says. This is Oklahoma football, right? This is Oklahoma football. Forget the other one. The time is now. Go do it.
Well, and we talked about this.
That would be my advice.
We talked about this a few weeks ago. The Oklahoma fans who have been crying about the SEC for years and about, well, they're not very deep, or give OU a chance at some of those teams, we'll see what happens. Some of those fans are the same ones saying, well, this schedule's just brutal. I don't know. You got to go in there and show up year one. That's what you have to do. You have promised, as you've been recruiting for the last 2 years, we're moving to the SEC and we're going to be good and we're going to make a difference in the SEC. We're going to be there to stay. Well, it's time to prove it now. Put up or shut up. I think they put up this year.
Strap it up, fellas. Bagman says, does anyone else think our compliance isn't SEC ready? Brandon Drum said we're one of the few teams that actually tries to abide by the rules. I take issue with that. Here's what I'm going to say, Bagman. I don't know the ins and outs of the compliance. I do know, obviously, there is an issue with DeMarco Murray. I am not one who believes go cheat with them all. It's not who I am. I like winning the right way. I know everybody does it. Doesn't make it right. I don't do things that are wrong because everybody does it. And in the end, I think you've got to do things the right way, Jay. I know people may rip me for that. That's just who I am.
I'm with you. I mean, they've self-reported that, and I mean, I don't have any problem with it. For the one saying you're not SEC, if you don't report it, then you're SEC ready. Is that what somebody's saying? Is that really what somebody said? That you need to not report
Sounds like
it? I mean, look at it. You're going to have a suspension, 1 game for DeMarco Murray, which we still don't know if that's this game now, correct?
Yeah, I've not heard it. Wait, Colorado won on a pass interference call? Confused.
Maybe it was 3rd down and they got a 1st down with pass interference probably. So
could be.
That could be it.
Joe, hey, Mez, I like your 12-0. I like what you said earlier on the comment that you said. I do not like this comment to say weak sauce, because when you're talking about man of integrity and things like that, Joe C is that so highly thought of, and has a great reputation across the country.
A lot of people saying correct, Jay. Is it about what I said about, is that what they're saying to do, is not report it? Crystal says, I predict you guys will average 500 people in the live chat before the end of the season. Hey, as long as you guys keep doing what you're doing and pushing it, I believe that too. I mean, y'all have helped grow this to what it is today, and it'll continue to grow because of people like you guys.
Will Burke start? I'm saying yes. I would be shocked if he doesn't. If he does it might be a play. I don't know. But at that point, sounds like it's been handled. I don't think so.
Dylan says, do you think weather affects the game? I don't think it will.
It looks like it's going to move south. It looks like the weather could be south at like 6 and 7. At 7 o'clock, I think there's a 28% chance of rain. If the rain chances are going a little bit down, the weather's going to be beautiful temp-wise. We're looking in the upper 80s, mid 80s, low 80s throughout the game. For an opening game, that's unheard of for Oklahoma. Hey, John says you have to look yourself in the mirror knowing you did it the right way. Here's the thing. If you're a guy like Brent Venables and you preach what he preaches about culture, integrity, you would be an absolute almost hypocrite to not report stuff. I mean, you would be lying. What you're telling the recruits and everybody is you're not truthful for what you're saying, right? What are you selling? Absolutely, Jay. What are you selling at that point? Correct. And you know, I've heard multiple players, Jaden Jackson, David Stone. I could go down the list of guys that have been there this year as freshmen. And to a T, all of them said the same thing. They say, these coaches are the same guys I talked to in recruiting. They haven't changed any. And that's what I'm saying. If you're going to sell that, then you got to own up to it and do it on campus when kids are there. You can't just sell something when you're recruiting and change. So I love the fact that he's sticking by it. Practice what you preach. And hey, I don't know why DeMarco Murray would coach in this game and be suspended for another one. This should be the game he's suspended for. Like, seriously.
I do
Yeah,
like Fred's
there better
comment.
not be. Yeah, no more SEC chance. All that.
I do
Cannot
like
wait,
Fred's
guys. Hey,
comment.
it's tomorrow. It's here. One more sleep, and it's here. I'm going to go watch Rudy. I think you all. Can you please do Jason, me a favor here? It's hit the like. It's hit the like. I do want to say what Daniel says here. Coach V recruited Daniel Brooks. And Daniel says, everything that man says, he does. He is the real deal. And it's time. Thanks, Daniel, for that. It is time for this team to show out. Let's ride. It's tomorrow night. It's here. Thank you so much, Surgeaholics. Appreciate all the comments that have been on here tonight. Greg God's trying to get me started with that Rudy being overrated. But
Hey,
go ahead, Jay.
I want to say a couple things. Thanks, Chief, for the supers. We extremely appreciate it so much. Crystal, thanks for the super. Big time. Appreciate it. I will follow through my bet. I think what I'll do probably before Saturday is I'm going to shave as close to the skin as I can get, just in case Clemson doesn't get the victory. But yeah, appreciate you guys so much.
Yep. 4:00 pregame live on here. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you after the game. Double time tomorrow. See you next time.